Alright, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about Phobos Rising, Insurgency on Mars by Joseph Miranda. It's put out by Decision Games. It's part of their miniseries games. Let's jump right into it. This is a solitaire game. I did a video yesterday. It didn't go as I wanted it to go. It ended up being like 35 minutes. So I'm going to kind of give you a broad, brief description of how to play the game, kind of show you a few activations and what it's about. So basically, this takes place in a free Mars universe, and obviously we have my map here is Mars. They're going to see, I have a cup here with some blue counters. These are what's called OP4, so they're your enemy units, and then you have friendly units that you play, the player controls, and they're called cadres in the game. So in the beginning of the scenario, you're given 12 points to purchase stuff. You can purchase vehicles. The green stuff here is gear, and then your basically soldiers, infantrymen, if you'd like to call them that. They're all going to cost 2 points, and the gear 1 point each, so I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 points spent, which gives me one purchase point left over. And I've written it down on a little piece of paper. So this game there's no turns necessarily. You're basically going to play the game based off the sequence of play, which is basically team movement, operation cards, combat cards, or excuse me, combat phase if there is any. You can do special actions, and then, of course, mission resolution, which is going to be how you win the game. Now, I'll get into that in a minute. There is no mission marker. The mission marker stays up here, and it does not start on the board. There is die rolls that allow you to place the installations, and they're currently, as you can see, they have little pictures and names on them, and they're going to all be OP4 controlled until I can take those installations. Your team all moves as one unit, and it is done under a team. They call it the hyper team marker. You use the random placement to determine where that goes as well. So I'm going to roll my 2 dice. So I got 34 is where I'm going to start this game, and 34 is going to put me up here on the Acerus Mons. The Acerus Mons, let's see if there's anything there is. So this would normally stop my movement, and the OP4 gains +1 to a tactical edge. But that's not really going to affect me at the moment. This game lasts as long as either until A, that you've completed the mission, or if your ops cards, you start the game with 8, you may purchase additional ops cards during your setup. These are your lifelines. So during every sequence of play, you draw one. Some cards will have you do challenges. If you lose, you may lose a card. Sometimes for winning the challenge, you gain a card. Once you run out of cards, the game is over. If you haven't completed your mission, well, then it's obviously a failure. So there's a few different things that can happen with the cards, and you can always there are cards that are going to add to it, so that's pretty cool. The other way that you can lose is if you lose all of your guys, and you can always recruit, attempt to do a recruit action during the game to spend more points to get some advance. So you have some down here, you have some special guys that you can't start the game with, but you can collect throughout the game. Alright, so let's start with movement. So we're going to move as fast as my slowest person. For me, that would be 2. And this is considered a ground move. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to move over here to the Noctis Labyrinth West. And that's on a chasm. So that's going to gain me a tactical edge, and it would stop my movement. So let's say I'm here Awesome. Now I'm going to draw an operations card and read it out loud. So it's Op4. Execute an Op4 deployment. Go to combat. Win, lose, 1 Op4. So, 1 Op. So basically, if I win, I'm going to gain an Op card and add it to the bottom of my pile. If I lose, well, I lose an Op card and I'm down to only 6 cards left, which that can be really bad. So for combat, there's kind of a little thing that you go through. So basically, we're going to deploy. So deployment for the bad guys is we need to figure out how many Op4 units I grab. So for this, it's the current net level, which would be 1. So I'm going to draw 1. Plus, if in the same space is an Op4 installation, the extra number indicated on the installation chart. So, let's see. Nope. We are good. So, I now have a guy. So, you see he has a 2+2. Top number is his combat. Okay. Bottom number is his tactical edge. Alright, so now what you do is basically, they're in the same, I have them off to the side so that you guys can see what I'm doing. We're going to determine who has tactical edge. So for us, what we would do is roll a die. So let's go ahead, and I rolled a 2 for me. So that's no bueno. So we roll a die and we add it to our net level, our net run level. So that's 1, plus 1 for each leader icon in the team. So let's see, I have 1 flag, 2. So that gives me a total of 5. So my tactical edge is 5. For the Op4, we're going to roll a die and also roll the 2. And add it to their tactical edge, which would be 2. So that gives them 4. And they get +1 if they're in the same cell as the installation. So they have 5. So we both have a tactical edge of 5. On the side with the higher total gets tactical edge. The hyper team wins ties, which, hey, that's me. I'm the hyper team. So that's pretty good. That means that I'm going to get to go first. So then the battle rounds. In each battle round, the side with the tactical edge fires first using its total combat strength using weapon action below. They're going to basically fire second. So I can attempt to basically break off. I don't have to, but I'd have to declare that before combat, and if I need to leave because I feel that I'm going to lose. Specifically, I mean, really this is going to take more precedence if they had a higher tactical combat edge than me and I was outnumbered. I would definitely want to try to break off and get away from that engagement. But in this kind of a case, being first activation, it's 1 unit, I'm overpowering them, I'm definitely going to fight back. So to determine the combat strength, for the friendly force, this is total number of combat numbers for friendly cadres. Vehicles and gear. And then for the Op4 side, it's the total number of combat values. So I've got, let's see if I can get you guys to take a look at what I'm taking a look at. There we go. So I have a total of 4, 6, 10, 13, and that's it. I don't have any bonuses here. So 13 total die. 5s and 6s are going to be my success. And I have 2. So I basically rolled my dice. I rolled 6. I have 2. Now 2 is going to win for me. And the reason is that they would flip over to their crash side for 1. and then removed for the second. So it's that simple. I mean, usually there's going to be a higher amount of chits drawn, op 4 drawn, because you'll have gone further and progressed. And usually I'm not so lucky to get the first card to be a combat card. But when it is, and especially in this case, as you can see, I have a full health unit. All of my guys are in good health. No one's taken damage, so they're strong enough. My dice rolls were there. So that was pretty simple. So from that point, now what we would do is move into the special actions phase. I passed combat phase. Because I was able to pass this one gets discarded. I draw another card at random, basically just off the top of my deck, and I add it to the bottom of my draw pile. I am now back up to the full amount of 8 cards. That's good. That gives me 8 more activations to find the Nexus mission marker and complete this mission. So basically what I'm going to do now is a special action phase. Because I do have, let me see if you guys, I need to get back in there so you can see what I'm looking at. Sorry for the camera movement. Want to make sure that I show you what I'm doing. There we go. Alright, so the eyes that you see are what's called a net run special ability. So I did buy a gear, the Swarm. It gives me an automatic 4 dice towards my attempt at a net run. And what a net run is you're basically accessing the net interface, cyberspace, basically. And in this case, what you're going to do is I'm going to roll the dice, and 5s and 6s is what I need. So for a 5 and a 6, select one of the following. I can either move the net marker 1 space higher, gain 1 OP card, or Ob 4 installation in the same cell becomes friendly, or I can flip the mission card face up and place the Nexus marker. So the net run is kind of the heart and soul of the game in the aspect that it really controls a lot. I mean, I want to flip these installations over and get the bonuses from them. And I definitely want to eventually place my mission card face up and drag my Nexus mission marker to the map and go to it and try to complete the mission and be successful. At the same time, you kind of want your net track to move up, your net level, because what the net level does is it gives me a tactical edge bonus. So if I'm on 2, now I've got a tactical edge bonus of 2, plus my die roll, plus my units. Hey, that's pretty cool, okay, for the leader abilities. But what stinks about it is that, let's say I'm at a 3. I'm now getting a bonus for rolling dice on my mission card. I'm getting the tactical edge bonus. But now when I have to draw enemy units, I'm now drawing 3 of them, not 1. So it's going to get harder for me to survive at that point. But at the moment, what I'm going to do is roll and attempt to get a net run action here, which I got a 6 and a 5. Now this is one, some of them, for each positive, you get a bonus. That's not the case for this. I get to select 1. So what I am going to select is to flip over my spaceport here. It's now a friendly, and I also got the enhanced move. So basically for this, if I was to be here on my next activation, after my activation for my special action, I can attempt an enhanced move. And what that means is, for each positive that I roll, I would move the team 1 additional cell in the next movement phase. There are some stipulations to that. If I move into some of these places where it says to immediately stop during a ground move, well, then I have to stop. You know, I haven't honestly used, I've only played a few games. I haven't used the enhanced move yet. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I like to use and what kind of a good combo I can find. I've been swapping out my gear, trying different units to see if I can get that edge. I mean, it's a very difficult game. Simple to play, super fun. It's easy, but it's hard to win. I will say that right now, that it is definitely not a easy game to win. It's going to challenge you. Okay, so we now move into my next phase, which would basically be team movement phase. So after the special actions, there would be a mission resolution phase, but obviously my mission's not out. I can't try to resolute something I don't have. So we go back up to the team movement phase. I still have a movement of 2. And this would stop my movement if I move to the lab, which I'm willing to do. So I'll move the 1, and that's going to be an operation card phase. And so this card says Nanomorph Challenge. Execute a repair special action. If you succeed, you gain 1 gear. If you fail, you select any one face-up Nanomorph specialist and flip it. So you may say, hey, what's a nanomorph? I don't understand. Basically, this symbol here, it's like a utility symbol. So it's basically the tool, like a hammer and a wrench, if you can see that, in between the twos. So that's a utility action. So for that action, for that challenge, I'm basically going to get 1, 2, 3 because I have a utility gear, which gives me 2. So I have 3. One thing I did forget to mention, and I'll mention it real quick, is that when you're rolling these challenges, there is a penalty for rolling a 1. I didn't roll 1 last time, so I didn't really go over it, but there is such thing as called a burnout. So every time that you roll a 1 when rolling the challenges, so the more dice you have, the more chances you have of rolling a burnout, and there is a consequence on most of them for a burnout. Repair, there is not. But like the net run ability, the enhanced move, the recruitability, there's quite a few where there really is a penalty for rolling a 1. Luckily, I don't have to worry about it this time. So for this, I need to succeed. And I got a 5. So that's a success. I rolled a 2 and a 4 as well, which do not do anything to me. For each positive, if you were repairing, you'd be able to flip 1 to the combat effective side. But that's not my special action. I'm basically following the rules of the card. So for that, I succeeded. I gain a gear. And I think what I want to take... yeah, I'm going to take the Smart Suit, which that's going to give me another nanomorph or another repair, basically, and a net run symbol. So that's going to boost my stats right now to 5 net run dice and 4 for the nanomorph. So I go ahead and discard that card. I'm back onto, there was no combat. Special action phase. I am going to, again, attempt a net run action to flip this installation that I'm on and see what I can come up with. So let's go ahead and try that. So it gives me 4, 5. All right. So I did get a 5. So there's a success. I rolled 2 3s, a 2, and oh shit, a 1. So for the net run, flip 1 acting cadre or shuttle or lose 1 gear. Let's see what I want to do. I'll go ahead and lose a gear on this one. And I'm going to go ahead and lose the Smart Suit that I just gained. And that basically goes away. It sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I still did get my success. And by doing that, I'm going to obviously use the action. and flip this thing. So it is now recruit an exo. Okay, now what that means is during my special action phase next time, if I choose to stay, I can do a recruit action there, and I'm able to grab an exoskeleton. Well, excuse me, not skeleton. I don't know why I say that. An exohuman. And basically the exohuman is going to give me a 3 combat, 2 for the tactical, 2 for the movement, excuse me, not tactical edge, 2 for movement, a net run, and a nanomorph special ability. At this time, this is pretty much the basics of how the game is played, Phobos Rising. The game comes with 4 missions. Okay, you have one called Logistics, Let's Ride. The one that I was playing would be Star Player, and then Phobos Rising, which is literally the 4th and final mission. It is very hard. The reason, so you can play this game as a campaign or as a single mission. It takes roughly 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I've lost in about 45 minutes for one mission. You could essentially play the campaign in 1 hour, and the campaign is literally just setting aside the Phobos Rising card, shuffling these 3, deal 1, set these 2 aside, and once you complete the mission, you're going to keep moving and basically redeal out another mission card and go forward from there and continue playing until you've completed all 4 missions. Alright guys, so Phobos Rising, Insurgency on Mars, decision games, miniseries game. I really like this game. It has all the things I want in a game. It's a great sci-fi game. You know, you're a rebel force trying to free Mars from its oppression. It's small scale. It takes 15 to 20 minutes, you know, at most to open the game, punch the game, read the rules, and start playing it. It's an hour game. I can play it in no time. Set it up in 10 minutes, play it in an hour, I'm done. I can put it away. It's no big deal. The other thing is it's hard. It's not easy, and I know that for some people that's a huge turnoff. I hear people all the time say the game's really hard, it's unbeatable, it's not fun, they made it too difficult, or other people, you know, oh, it's too easy. I don't think that too easy is going to come up with this. I mean, I was talking with someone else who play tested on it, right, and they really should have put a warning that says you will fail at this game multiple times, because it's not simple. The rules are very unforgiving in the aspect that just the way it plays, it's a hard game. And I like that challenge. You know, I like the fact that it can be played in less than an hour. I like that it's small and compact, because I know that there's a lot of people on my channel, and I have a lot of friends on the other side of the mountains that don't live over here who don't have a ton of space. Okay, they don't have an entire room in their house dedicated to just board games like I do, or other people have entire basements and garages. You know, I have 1 bedroom in a 3-bedroom that is nothing but board games. That's all that's allowed in here. And so I'm able to play big games. But there are times where I don't want to set up a big long game and take days to play it. I want to just jump in, set up something small, be playing in 20 minutes, and have a great time at it. And this is definitely that game. It's $12.95. The price point's a steal. I can't say enough good things about the game. I really hope you guys give it a chance. Check it out. Subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.